I learn how to learn. I am knowledge.
This is our seventh discussion of the universal law called I am knowledge. I am knowledge is one of 11 universal laws of the guiding principles of peace and unity. In our previous presentations about I am knowledge, we revealed that there are 9 types of intelligence, and we explained that using them to learn how to learn is critical for the development of self-love, culture, and civilization building. Today we will discuss intrapersonal intelligence. Before we discuss I am knowledge, I need to inform you that Facebook has limited how many posts I can share with our groups. As a result, I will be able to share less frequently, so everything will be a bit slower. If you think these posts have value, it would be best if you join the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity Facebook group or the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity Facebook page. As Black people, we know that Facebook and other social media do not belong to us. So the best way to make sure we're able to share these posts and other information is to establish a more permanent connection that is not dependent on social media platforms that we do not control. If you go to the gppu.org website, you can download the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity and their violations. To do so, you will need to provide a name and email address. With that connection, you will have direct access to our posts, events, and other resources, even when social media fails us. All links are in the description. In addition, I would like to organize the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity community meetings. These meetings will feature debates, discussions, and suggestions for resolutions of many of the critical problems facing Black people and Black communities. Here is what our meeting will look like. First, a topic or problem will be identified. Second, you will be offered an opportunity to address that topic or problem from your expertise or from your real life point of view. You will also have the opportunity to suggest solutions. A person with a different point of view will also have the opportunity to address the issue or problem. Then, based upon the universal laws of the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity, a judgment and proposed solution will be given regarding the different points of view on the issue or problem. These meetings may be live or recorded. The Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity community meetings will be organized to answer questions important to Black people and Black communities. Our first meeting will be to answer the question, what is the role of religion in Black communities? If you have expertise in the area of religion or a specific religion, you are welcome to record audio or video, or if you'd like, we can discuss having a Zoom meeting so you can discuss your points of view live. If you have unusual views on religion or don't believe in organized religion or spirituality, you are welcome to also record your points of view. We will assist you. If you want to submit your views, email us at info@thegppu.org. We must have your recording by Wednesday, August 26th, 2026. The Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity community meeting on this topic will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026. Let's have a meeting of the minds. Now, back to the universal law, I am knowledge. There are three areas critical to the success of the black community in Africa and the African diaspora. They are culture, economics, and education. In this video series, we continue to examine issues and concepts related to education for the development of self-love within the black community, which those who care about the black community may examine and consider. But culture is the foundation of self-love. What is culture? The word culture comes from the word cultivate, which is related to the domestication and growth of plants. Culture is like a gardener who cultivates a young plant by tying it to a stand for support, putting it in a certain location, and watering it. The gardener does that to foster the growth of the plant, to become tall and strong, so it does not grow bent and crooked, so it does not become a weed. The gardener does this with labor, care, and study to ensure that her plants are the best. But culture is actually a way to cultivate and civilize human beings. Because of the natural functions of the growth of the human brain, during the various stages of life, human beings must be purposefully and deliberately cultivated and civilized. This is done first by establishing universal laws and standards of behavior. We call those universal laws the guiding principles of peace and unity.
I meditate to relax in all situations. I am peace. I bring and keep together the families and communities who live in peace and unity with others. I am unity. I learn how to learn. I am knowledge. I create for myself, my family, and my community. I am power. I obey the laws of my family and community that are in harmony with peace and unity. I am law. I do no harm to my family, other families, or my community. I am protection. I choose the feelings, thoughts, and actions that are in harmony with the principles of peace and unity. I am control. I have fun and work with my family and my community. I am cooperation and harmony. I am careful about what I believe. I accept ideas and beliefs that are in harmony with these guiding principles. I am correct ideas and beliefs. With all my heart, I take care of my family, other families, and communities that are living according to the principles of peace and unity. I am devotion. I keep a clean body. I have clean habits. I eat healthy food. I exercise. I care for my environment and planet. I abuse no substance or drug. I am strength.
The guiding principles of peace and unity is an ethical, moral framework that says, do good, do no harm to others. Do good, do no harm to each other. There are universal laws that will guide our people, help purify us, and make us strong. The guiding principles of peace and unity will help you remember who and what you are. You can get a copy of the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity at our website, thegppu.org. With these universal laws as a foundation, true culture will, 1, prepare you for life. 2, foster your growth. 3, improve you as a person and a community. And 4, help you solve problems. Today, under the universal law, I am knowledge, we will continue to discuss the 2 critical roles that education plays in developing a culture of self-love. Let's look at the universal law, I am knowledge. It says, I learn how to learn. This represents one of the greatest powers that you have in life, but is misunderstood. Many of us believe that intelligence and knowledge is having more information than others and being able to memorize and communicate that information. But that is only part of it. Another part is the ability to be quiet, listen, and receive instruction, knowing how to gather information when and where it is needed, receiving deep understanding from your practice and work in your field of endeavor is also knowledge. All the guiding principles of peace and unity have their violations. The violations of I am knowledge are educational disenfranchisement, educational repression, educational restriction, educational elitism, educational neglect, and miseducation. The first role of education in developing a culture of self-love is teaching people, especially children, their history. There seems to be much public dispute and debate about children learning current and ancient history. But there is no dispute. You must learn your history, and you must teach it to your children. It is your responsibility as a parent or a caregiver. And it is critical if your children are to develop a culture of self-love and be able to operate effectively in this world. Now let's discuss the second role that education has in developing a culture of self-love. That involves understanding the nature of intelligence, showing people their intelligences, and providing them with an opportunity to use those intelligences. But first, what is intelligence? And why do I keep on saying intelligences? As a lifelong educator who has actually observed the learning of many children and adults, it is my view that the true reality of intelligence is represented by the theory of multiple intelligences. The theory of multiple intelligences was first proposed in 1983 by Dr. Howard Gardner, a cognitive psychologist. The theory of multiple intelligences says that there are 9 types of intelligence. 1 is verbal linguistic intelligence. 2, mathematical logical intelligence. 3, spatial visual intelligence. 4, musical rhythmic intelligence. 5, bodily kinesthetic intelligence. 6, interpersonal intelligence. 7, intrapersonal intelligence. 8, naturalistic intelligence. And 9, existential intelligence. Now, those who disagree with Gardner's theory complain that what he identified were talents, not intelligence. Their views show that they do not understand the complex cognitive and intellectual processes needed to create and cook a good recipe, negotiate a win-win solution by 2 opposing parties, or choreograph an award-winning dance routine. They want to diminish those intelligences by using the word talent, but talent and intelligence are the same. Gardner's detractors also complain that there's no way to test his theory, like with an IQ test. Those critics are also limited in their understanding of how intelligence can be identified. Intelligence is identified using the actual life work that a person does every day and how well they excel at that life's work, not just through a written test. Now, Gardner was not an educator, but many well-known educators and educational theorists, Piaget, Bloom, Vygotsky, Skinner, insisted that intelligence is actually developed by doing and through experience, by trial and error, through loss and reward, by doing the thing that you're trying to learn, building on what is learned, and mastering it in real life. We've already talked about verbal linguistic intelligence, mathematical logical intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, musical rhythmic intelligence, and bodily kinesthetic intelligence. We even spoke earlier about interpersonal intelligence. Today, we will focus on the seventh of Gardner's 9 intelligences, intrapersonal intelligence. Now, actually, we're talking about intrapersonal intelligence dominance. Everyone has some level of intrapersonal intelligence. It is just that some of us have dominance or greater access to use of intrapersonal intelligence than other people. This is called dominance. Dominance simply means that the neural networks of his, her brain have strong and complex connections that make intrapersonal intelligence more accessible to them. Connections between the brain's prefrontal medial cortex for social decision-making, understanding others, and one's own intentions, self-controls, and appropriate behavior. The amygdala, which detects emotional significance, recognizes emotions, especially fear and anger, and supports emotional learning. The hippocampus forms and retrieves autobiographical memories, allows you to reflect on past experiences and learn from them, helps you have a sense of personal identity over time. The anterior cingulate cortex for empathy, conflict monitoring, emotional regulation, and processing social pain. The posterior cingulate cortex, involved in thinking about yourself and recalling personal memories, active during introspection and daydreaming. Traditional education systems are focused primarily on verbal linguistic intelligence and mathematical logical intelligence. There is no attention given to intrapersonal intelligence. Those who are intrapersonal intelligence dominant are also known as introspective individuals, self-aware individuals, self-reflective thinkers, deep thinkers, self-reflective people. They tend to be introverts. These children will learn through self-paced study. They like to learn on their own and set their own schedule. Reflection. They think deeply about what they have learned and how it applies to their lives. Journaling, writing about their ideas and experiences and emotions helps them organize their thoughts. Goal setting. They learn more effectively when they have clear personal objectives. Independent research. They enjoy exploring topics that genuinely interest them, connecting and learning based on personal experience. They remember information better when it relates to their own life. Self-assessment. They regularly evaluate their progress and identify areas for improvement. Quiet environments. They often concentrate best in calm, quiet environments with distraction-free settings. Now I have suggestions for parents and caregivers to find out and purposefully develop your children based upon intrapersonal intelligence. Now, my suggestions are not just for intrapersonal intelligent dominant children. They are for all children. Strengthening the intrapersonal intelligence skills of every child is critical to the development of all the eight other intelligences. Parents can support development of intrapersonal intelligence by encouraging self-reflection, asking open-ended questions such as, what did you learn today? How did that experience make you feel? Rather than giving immediate answers, give them quiet time. Many intrapersonal learners need time alone to think, read, or work on projects without constant interruptions. You have to be careful with this, of course. Generally, children and teens constant social monitoring. They require constant social monitoring for their development. And they can develop in ways that are destructive if left to themselves constantly. Support their interests. If they become deeply interested in a topic, provide books, materials, or opportunities to explore it further. Help them set personal goals. Encourage them to create realistic short-term and long-term objectives. Then celebrate their progress. Teach emotional vocabulary. Help them identify and express their feelings in healthy ways. Respect their independence. Allow them to make age-appropriate decisions and learn from their outcomes. Encourage journaling. Writing about thoughts, experiences, and goals can strengthen self-awareness. Model self-reflection. Share your own experiences of learning from mistakes and making thoughtful decisions. Avoid comparison. Focus on their personal growth rather than comparing them to siblings or classmates. Balance solitude with social development opportunities. While they may enjoy time alone, encourage participation in family activities and friendships to develop interpersonal skills also to balance them out. Intrapersonal dominant children have many interesting professions available to them. Psychologists or counselors, writers, philosophers, entrepreneurs, researchers, life coaches. There is additional information about intrapersonal intelligence learning and resources in the video description below. Remember, when you uplift a black child, that is a defeat for those who think they are our enemies. When you uplift a black person, that is a defeat for those who think they are our enemies. Use the guiding principles of peace and unity. Uplift each other. Do good, do no harm.